Starmine.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Starmine podcast, episode 5. This is going to be our sort of E3 special. I'm David.
I'm Nick.
I'm John, Air1355.
And we skipped last week because it was E3, so you probably don't want to hear our predictions because we're bad at this still. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
This is going to be our E3 one. So, but first, let's. What did you guys do this past week? Either one of you?
Okay, let me just say with a precursor that originally the only Legend of Zelda game I ever played was Link to the Past, and that was like one of my favorite games ever. But just this past week, I finally started Ocarina of Time, and
cool.
I believe that it lives up to the hype that it got. Like already, I only did like the first dungeon. I've just been wandering around, but I've been having a blast. It's a really great game. Like I'm kind of mad at myself now because I would like shit on Ocarina of Time and I didn't know what it was like really like.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I've only ever beaten the end boss. That's seriously the only thing I've ever done. My cousin couldn't do it, so she's like, "Here, beat this for me," and I did.
That's the one they made the 3D or the 3DS remake of, right?
Yeah, but I'm playing the original N64 one.
Okay, I own the 3DS one, but I've put 10 minutes into it.
Yeah, my friend's letting me borrow his game cartridge. I tried to find like legitimate copy, but they're like $60 on eBay. It's ridiculous. So they're like really hard to find, I guess. But it does live up to the hype, I would say. Other than that, I've been playing more Mass Effect, and I've been... Yeah, that's pretty much it. Mass Effect and Legend of Zelda is what I've been up to.
Cool. How about you, John?
Oh, yeah, I guess since the last time I was in the middle of installing updates on my Wii U, I did end up playing a bit of Mario Kart 8. I think I nearly finished all of the 50cc race category stuff. And, it's Mario Kart.
Did you play online?
I did, and it works surprisingly well. I lose all the time. I can't beat anyone, but,
You got a bunch of MLG pro racers on there, I guess.
There's apparently a whole... Because this is like the first Mario Kart that I've ever... I owned one for the GameCube, but I never really put any time into it. And that was my first one. So this was another one, second Mario Kart. So I don't know the whole item metagame that apparently is real big in that game.
Is there?
I guess. I was reading a message board about it, and people were all like trying to figure out the best way to get items.
The only thing I know I've heard about the items that's really changed is like now isn't there a way to like stop the blue shell using like a bell or something like that?
Yeah, there's an item that puts like a force field around you, but it's really rare. I think I had it once, and I wasted it not knowing what it did. So I'm just sitting there doing nothing. I hit the button, and it just put a force field around me. Like, oh.
Cool.
Yeah. I also, I put a little more time into Watch Dogs. I think I've done like 2 story missions since the last time we talked. I was doing all side stuff, which isn't the greatest, but I have a weird OCD manner of getting the side stuff done before I do main story missions. Might abandon that to actually finish the game in the next year. And I did get into the Destiny Alpha.
Ooh,
Alpha in quotations.
Yeah, it's definitely not an alpha in terms of like actual game design.
It's like a pre-production beta, and then the pre-production beta that they're going to later put out is going to be the finished game minus a little bit of polishing.
Yeah. It plays really well. I never put much time into Halo, so I can't really compare it to how that felt. But it was really good. I was playing online with another GameFAQs mod, and he just jumped into my game. I didn't know he even had it, so that is pretty
cool.
seamless. It just told me he was joining.
That's pretty crazy.
Which one's Destiny? I always get them all mixed up.
It's like Mass Effect with Borderlands and Call of Duty all rolled up into one game.
Oh, okay.
With maybe a little bit of like Diablo in terms of getting loot for like your character as well, because
Well, Borderlands is pretty much like Diablo and loot, so.
But not just weapons though. You get armor and other stuff too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after hearing much about how people are actually dealing with the alpha, the whatever it's called.
The quote unquote alpha.
Yeah. I decided that I'm definitely going to get that game because I don't know. I was worried that it was over budgeted and it was going to be oversaturated with I don't know, just repetitiveness and boringness.
Well,
I don't know.
There's like a few different mission types. I think there's also a competitive, like you can fight against other players. We didn't get into that. But we ended up going back to like a home base where there's like all the quests and you can buy items and there's shops. There's 3 different character classes. I don't know the name of them right off the top of my head, but they didn't seem too different, but I can only really play one. The mission type that you start off with is more of, I guess, what they have like a traditional mission. I walked past someone who was idling, so I think there's like instance of like so many people are playing that specific mission, and you can kind of play with them at the same time if you want to. It's really interesting on how they do that. There was an open world type one where you just go into an area, you hit the big touchscreen button, it brings up like this communication floating orb in your hand.
Oh, neat.
Which will communicate with beacons in the area where you can run over and they'll have like various quests for you to do.
So it's not the whole game right now, obviously, right? It's just like a snippet of it.
Yeah, there's one mission that I didn't do yet, which I was under-leveled at the time whenever I could pick it. And we ended up spending 90 minutes in that open area. But it seems to be more of like you're going in with a goal of like killing this one character, and it's like a set piece kind of level.
So it's like Mamorpaka.
What's that?
An MMORPG.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar. Like the home world, there's like a bunch of people also checking shops and stuff like that. I'm interested in trying it out. I don't know, how well it will stand, because I imagine, even though I spent like 90 minutes in that one area, we started to get almost hitting the same type of missions over and over again.
That might just be because it's kind of like a demo, and they don't want to show off too much right now.
Yeah, one was like, go here, kill this enemy. The other one was, go here and collect the loot they drop. But it wasn't like specific. It didn't feel like I was playing an MMO. It was very first-person shootery. Enemies seem to respawn in the same exact spot with the same exact enemies, though. So that's kind of, I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, we would walk through one area, come back, and the same people are just still sitting there.
All right.
I don't know.
Cool.
I would recommend playing it. It looks really good.
Yeah,
like visually. They actually work with the light bar on the controller.
Oh, cool.
Like when you're low on health, it flashes red. When you have your special ability, it shines yellow.
It's about time someone used that.
Yeah, I'm never looking at it, so I was probably playing for a good half hour before I even noticed it did that. So, it's not important, but I thought it was really cool that it did that.
Yeah, that is cool.
Cool.
So, Dave, what did you do?
Played a shitload of Vanquish.
Vanquish?
Yeah, it's a platinum game from a few years ago. I think. I don't know when it was made or released or anything, but ridiculous jet boots. You get to slide around and shoot things with a machine gun or a shotgun or a heavy machine gun, and giant robots, and it's like if Bayonetta was a third-person shooter.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was fun. The character reminds me of what I've seen of the one guy in Metal Gear Solid Rising. I think it's Jetstream Sam.
The guy with the shit-eating grin.
Yeah, that's pretty much the guy from Vanquish. His name is even Sam, I'm pretty sure, in Vanquish. But yeah, the suit looks really cool. It's like super duper ridiculous, over the top. I mean, like, you're fighting the Soviets and they're space Russians, and they're like space Russian robots, and the one guy's basically got an orbital frame, and you have to like fight it, and it's really fun. It's a fun little game. Really over the top. Everyone talks like a gruff Steve Blum, and I'm pretty sure the one guy is a gruff Steve Blum. And at some points, like, their gravelly voices sound exactly the same. And I hope that's intentional, because it's fucking hilarious that, like, you just can't tell who's talking because it's just like gruff Steve Blum like voices. Just that's great.
Steve Blum the game. Cool.
Yeah, and like it's super over the top, and there's giant robots and like smaller like infantry robots, and then like their troop carriers are like giant chainsaws that just like bust out of the floor and like cut things in half, and then there's a bunch of troops inside, and there's a it looks like a mining equipment. It has big like drills on the front. It like comes out and attacks you. It's super duper over the top and super duper awesome and really fun. It took me a little bit to get used to. The controls are a little wonky when you first start them, just because you're not sure when you're like It's really really fast paced, so there's a lot of bullet time stuff that goes on, and you need the bullet time, otherwise you're going to be just shooting blind pretty much. But I didn't know when you were jet slide, because you get down on your knees and like jet slide around with your jet boots. It's ridiculous. But whenever you shoot when you're jet sliding, time slows down. I didn't realize that the slowdown worked whenever you were jet sliding around. I thought you can like do a dodge and then do the slowdown, and that's what I kept doing, and they kept killing me because I was kind of standing out in the open. Even though time was going slow, I was still being hit all the time. So yeah, well, once I got it down, it was really really fun and ridiculous. You jet slide around the level and like get behind these giant robots and shoot them in their weak spot, and they fall over, and then you just pound them full of bullets. It's great.
So, giant robots, fast-paced action, Steve Blum. Sounds like your type of game.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Oh, and made by Platinum.
Oh,
so,
yeah, there you go.
That's David written all over it, doesn't it?
Are there any other boxes that it can tick?
Dinosaurs, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there is giant spider robot. That's like a sub-tick there. Like that's a sub-genre of giant robots. It's a giant spider robot.
All right.
Maybe a machete fight. If there's a machete fight, go for it. But yeah, I've been working mostly, so I have not been doing too much, other than I played a little bit more of the new update of Dive Kick. I've given up on the Baz because I got this shit kicked out of me by someone who had never played before. So I started playing as Dr. Scholes and Kung Pao again, and did a lot better. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I also got a bunch of Godzilla movies, so I've been watching those, and they're hilarious and awesome.
Sweet.
And I also got a bunch of arcade parts, so hopefully I will start preliminary construction on the cabinet for my Naomi.
Don't start a fire.
Yeah, I was about to say, and hopefully you're not burning the place out this time.
Well, that was the analog inputs. These are only digital inputs, so we're fine.
How would that be any different? Like
DC current's a little bit more stable than AC current, and also these are designed to take that DC current. So
okay,
Yeah, you have no idea what I just said, do you?
Nope, not at all.
Awesome. All right,
Neither.
straight on into the few things of news we have before we dive into E3's gaping maw. First off, this is more for me than you guys probably, but they're making a Doctor Strange movie, which is fucking awesome, and I'm super excited about it. Doctor Strange is one of my favorite comic book characters. He's super ridiculous, and his stories are always just like the dumbest and most awesome things ever. So I'm super excited about it. I wonder how well it's going to be. Hopefully it's super duper cheesy and like ridiculous, but I think it's going to be good.
Neat.
Do you guys care at all? No?
I don't know who Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
He's in the Avengers, you guys. Come on.
I haven't watched the Avengers or
He's not in the Avengers movie. He's in the... Never mind. Don't worry about it. Next on the list, Chronicle Director and the director of the new Fantastic Four is now going to direct another one of these standalone Star Wars movies.
Yay.
Yay.
Do we know?
wait, there's another one.
Yeah, there's going to be
there's
a
going to
bunch.
be 3.
They,
There's going to be at least 3, they said.
just
Okay,
release them all on the same day.
just put it this way. 2014 is the last year that there's going to be there's not going to be any Star Wars movies going on. So, like, starting next year, there's going to be a Star Wars movie every year.
Forever.
Forever.
To the end of eternity.
That I imagine you get a bit of series fatigue.
I would hope so.
I hope, yeah, they'll have to stop eventually.
Yeah. And along that same line, the news that Harrison Ford is what got in the way of a hydraulic door, and it fractured probably his ankle. That's the article is very non-specific. It just says possibly fracturing his ankle. So
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, staying at the hospital or whatever, and he's still there, and it's like really messing with production.
I heard they had him airlifted to a hospital, but then they said it was minor injuries.
Yeah,
So-
they're very vague about it. Regardless, it's kind of interesting because last week we were talking about how old he is and how that he can't be doing the stuff that he was doing in the 70s and 80s.
Was he
What?
getting in the way of doors in the 70s?
I don't know.
well, I mean, hey, you watched Indiana Jones, didn't you?
Yes.
There's a few doors in that. I mean, sliding under falling rocks.
Yeah.
No, nothing. No.
Can't do that
All right.
anymore.
All right, let's move on. I'm done with this. We won't talk about Star Wars for 25 minutes this time because we
Yeah.
have more important things to talk about with E3.
You're welcome.
Hooray! That was a meh.
What's that?
E3 was as unimpressing as Watch Dogs was.
Watch Dogs okay.
I know. I'm just being a dick.
I thought this year's
I-
E3 was alright.
I only watched the big 3, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, and I was kind of impressed with that. With Microsoft, I literally almost fell asleep during Sony, and Nintendo fucking knocked it out of the park to me.
Their format
of
was
CG
really cool.
Yeah, a lot of CG trailers though.
Everyone had that.
lot of CG trailers all around. I don't know if that's a necessity of building new engines because there's a new generation of consoles or what. Maybe everything's just getting lazy.
I'm not sure if it's that. I think it's that they have more money to spend now, and they just use it in marketing, and the marketing department finds someone to make a CG trailer, and then they just spend 2 weeks making that, and it doesn't cost that much. So that's all I think it is. It's just a marketing thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's something that happens. It's something that's been happening for years. I mean, the original TGS trailer for Metal Gear Solid was entirely CG.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I remember that trailer. That was a mess looking.
yeah. If you got the what is it? VR Missions has it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait,
You can
I
find
know
them
what
on-
trailer you're
on-
talking about.
It's cell shaded, isn't it? It looks cell shaded like.
Yeah,
it's really fucking weird looking.
It's
Yeah.
real shiny. Like everything has a shine to it.
Everything's really smooth too. Like
Uh-huh.
I remember that. Like the textures made everything look really smooth instead of the sort of blockiness we all love now.
It looks like someone took a N64 game, smoothed it, and put it on a PlayStation or PC.
Smoothing an N64 game is that's overkill.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird, but yeah, I admit that I do not remember too much of what went on. I remember little pointers here and there, but you guys were a little more in depth with it than I was. So why don't you guys step through it? I guess we'll start with who was first?
Microsoft.
Microsoft was first. So why don't we start with Microsoft? One of you guys go ahead.
Well, they...
I knew it was going to happen.
You asshole!
Yep. All right.
John, you go.
Okay. Well, their stage looked weird. They had like a weird fragmented stage. I know that's not what I'm supposed to talk about, but like, I don't get it.
No,
They
I
had,
know
like,
what you mean.
They had like 4 mini stages, and then there was like a little crowd in the middle of the 4 stages.
They're trying to do that like town hall thing. It's like it's video games. Shut up. Just do it normal.
Sell me video games. I'm done with your marketing bullshit.
Yeah.
They did end up showing what was it, the new Call of Duty game?
Hmm. That was like the first thing that they showed off, and it was like, I was like,
It looks
oh
like-
yeah,
It looks like
Call
it's
of
set
Duty.
in like what, China or something. I saw Asian looking characters on a sign.
Man, I couldn't
Are they
even
finally
tell.
doing Vietnam?
It's a very high end part of Vietnam then, because it was like
Oh,
a
okay.
huge city.
Maybe it's like future, instead of future Russian terrorists, it's future Chinese terrorists. We're just doing Homefront now. But I guess that's Korea. So never mind, we're not doing Homefront now.
It's like at first it looked like it's like a new, like something new in Call of Duty. Like it's all futuristic. There's like tanks, like little mechs everywhere, like and floating things that are clearly not real. Unlike what was it, Black Ops, which was kind of based in reality.
Yeah.
This is entirely science fiction land. But
Is that the one where they threw the grenade and it marked everyone in the area?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I like that.
But you know what? With those grenades, they have the frag mode, and then they had like it goes in, floats to the person. Why would you ever use the frag mode? Like you can click a button and it like changes what kind of grenade they are. Well, first off, that doesn't make any damn sense. If it
It's
can
there's a lot of circuitry in that small grenade, John.
if it can explode, it should explode, and then do the other stuff just all the time.
Also, yeah.
Yeah. Why turn it into something else? And then first off, there's a frag mode, which is just a regular grenade, I assume. And then there's a mode where it shoots up into the sky and then homes in on someone. Why would you ever use the frag mode?
I don't know. That makes yeah. Maybe you want to kill more than one dude. I don't know.
Oh, what was the guy's name? Mitchell? Was that the guy's name?
I don't know.
Yeah, but it starts off. He's like they're falling into Earth. I guess they're being like shot into the battle, and like the door opens up, and they're all like yelling at Mitchell, like Mitchell, shut the damn door! Yeah.
Mitchell, do this. Mitchell, do that.
And then Mitchell just sits there for a while, like looking at the door shut button, hits it, door shuts, all good. And then later at the end of the little video clip that they had, Mitchell is with his buddy. They're doing something with a flying ship that they were told to go get. And suddenly the door clamps on his buddy's arm, and he's stuck on this airship. And I'm like, Mitchell, you had two jobs, open and shut doors, and you fucked it up both times.
God damn it, Mitchell. God damn it, Mitchell.
But yeah, it looked like they were trying to make it look like something other than Call of Duty, but it sounds like Call of Duty. Like all the firing still sounds exactly like regular guns in that game. And they kept talking like, go 2 clicks this way. I'm like,
Still has waypoints and stuff.
it's the same game.
Still Call of Duty. Yeah.
It'll probably be okay. I mean, at least they're trying to innovate. They're not doing a great job of it, but you know, there's some different stuff.
Yeah,
They have Kevin Spacey.
it's all his
So?
damn fault.
Call of Duty has Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Call of Duty has everything.
it can. You know, why make a new one?
Yep.
You
All right, let's
need-
stop talking. Let's stop talking about modern shoot bangs.
So
What else went on?
Halo 5.
Halo. Oh, there was the Halo collection as well.
Yeah, that kind of piqued my interest a bit. I was
The,
like,
the thing that made me interested about it was they said they were all on their original engines.
yeah.
So it'll play exactly the way that you remember it because it's the same exact fucking engine. Instead of all the times they've remade them and it plays completely differently. Sort of the Twin Snakes sort of deal.
yeah. And it's not like adding backflips and ninja moves to the main character.
It's going to have every multiplayer map from each of the 4 games,
Which is crazy.
and it plays each game in its original engine. So if you go to like a Halo 2 map, it'll do Halo 2 engine. Halo 3 will be Halo 3. That'll all be lost on me since I've played up until I think the library in Halo 1 and then never played another one.
Yeah. See, if I had an Xbox One, I would get that, but I'm not going to buy an Xbox One for that.
I'm in the same boat there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably not going to buy an Xbox One unless, The Last Guardian comes out on it or something like that. So
Sony sold it to Microsoft. That's why you haven't heard about it.
probably. Fuck. Anyways, what else is going on with the Halo or whatever?
Well, it's just this collection is really just a precursor to hype people up for Halo 5, I
Yeah.
think. It's definitely like a marketing idea. Like, Halo's like losing ground. How do we get people to care about it again? Let's release all the games in one package.
It's like Halo 5 is going to miss this November. Let's go and set up another Halo game to fit its gap.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're trying, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not... There's apparently 4,000 gamer score points. 1,000 for each game.
Wowzers.
That got a
Well, not
huge
much.
cheer from the crowd. I'm like, cool.
Who cares about that? Yeah,
Anyways.
not much is said about Halo 5. Just, yeah.
We're working
That it's
on
going
it.
to exist.
And they showed some screen caps of like the live action Halo show that they're putting on.
Yeah.
Like with what Spielberg still directing it.
I think he's producing it. I don't know
Producing?
if he's directing it.
What the hell's the difference?
A lot.
Yeah.
Producing, he doesn't have to be there behind the camera telling everyone what to do.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Scalebound. Platinum Games.
Platinum. Yeah, that I would have been so much more hype about that had I not known they were already going to show up, but it was still fucking awesome. That was just Dante with like headphones on,
Yeah, fighting dinosaurs.
fighting dinosaurs.
Okay.
That looked like Devil May Cry mixed with whatchamacallit, Monster Hunter. Maybe a little bit of
Yeah,
maybe
totally
a
did.
little bit of Drakengard and Shadow of the Colossus thrown in.
What's
Yeah, that should be actually a really good game.
what's that one game that's like real cartoony, real art, like sunny with the zombies?
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, that game.
That game, oh my gosh! I had no like when that trailer started, where it was like like the modern military shoot bangs, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then the dude kicks down the door and just fucks everything up. I was like, all right, you got me. You guys did exactly what you wanted to do with that trailer, and you got me.
Yeah, that was a good trailer.
And then he's just like skating. He's like Sonic the Hedgehog grinding around areas, shooting like zombies and like not stopping. It was awesome. I
Yeah,
want
it's
to play
pro-
that game.
That's probably just going to be one of those mindless games that's just really fun.
Yeah, it's probably a bit like a more ridiculous Dead Rising. Or-
And
Speaking of Dead Rising,
yeah. The what is it? What does anyone
it's
have?
such a long title.
I'm gonna
What is
find
it?
the title. You guys keep talking about it.
all right. I had no idea what to feel about that when they started to show that off.
Yeah, me either.
I'll tell you what I felt about it. It could have just been costumes, then they did a lot more with it, and I'm very happy
Oh, yeah.
about that.
It's a whole new map, weapons, and bunch of different stuff.
Isn't it like out now? Like that was like it's available now.
Yeah, it was like available right now.
Yeah, I believe the ending was something like, it was like, what, out later. Just kidding. Out right the fuck now. Yeah. I still haven't found the title. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Because it's a ridiculously awesome title, and I love it. Love every second of it.
It's making fun of itself.
Us to have this memorized.
Okay, it's come on, load faster. Super Ultra Deadrising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus.
It's the best title ever.
Yeah, that's making fun of everything that Capcom does.
Yeah, pretty much.
There.
But I mean, like they have like super meters at the bottom, like it's a fighting game, and he does like super attacks and shit. I'm seeing a giant like zombie bison, like was shooting lasers out of his eyes, and the main character dressed up as Felicia from Darkstalkers. That's great.
Yeah.
There was also Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah, KI. Keep going with the Iron Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have Dave laying up on stage.
I don't think Dave Lang is appropriate for E3. I think he would swear too much and make people cry and just be too awesome.
They should let him do it once.
They should. It would be amazing. Just Dave from what I've seen of Dave Lang, I think he makes actual like business people a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what he was talking about with him and Pitchford, that he was like joking around that like someone on Twitter said Dave Lang of Gearbox confirmed Borderlands 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget what it was, and he thought it was fucking hilarious, and Pitchford was a little pissed off.
I think it was mentioning that all the Vita game will have all the DLC or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Without anyone ever saying that was going to happen.
Yeah. Dave Lang. Anyways, but KI is still going. They introduced some new characters, didn't they?
Yeah, that's basically, it's like Killer Instinct Season 2. It's
okay, yeah, they're doing the second season. Gotcha. All right.
Well, it's good that they sold enough to make that make sense.
Yeah. Especially since they lost their original development team, but Iron Galaxy's got it. I believe in them.
Oh yeah, wasn't that team sold to like Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon bought them.
I feel so sorry for them.
Well, I mean, if Amazon Fire TV actually takes off,
it's not.
It's got. We'll probably mention this. Well, let's mention it now because I don't want to talk about the half an hour they talked about it. The Sony TV. Or the PlayStation TV. There's the Sony TV
Vita
or PlayStation.
TV.
No, it's not.
Vita.
It's not Vita TV because they rebranded it because no one owns Vitas in America.
It's PlayStation TV.
Yeah, it's PlayStation because in Japan it was Vita TV.
Yeah, got it.
I think that would work for PlayStation Now. Like if there was a subscription to PlayStation Now that you got with it.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to work with PlayStation Now, but I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll complain later about. I'll probably complain about it later, but that businessman just would not shut up about it. Anyways, back to Microsoft. What else was going on with the Xbone?
Phantom Dust.
Oh yeah. I remember watching that and thinking that looks cool. What is it?
It's a remake of an old game that not a lot of people played.
I never heard of it before. He was all talking about like the guy.
Everyone was like, "Phantom Dust! Oh crap!" I'm like, "What?"
No, the guy was like, "We love bringing back old franchises with a new look." And first off, no one ever says that. Second off, no one ever heard of the damn game. Like they said the game name, and everyone was kind of, I don't know. Like the reaction on my Twitter feed was mostly of, "What game's this?"
Yeah, we were tweeting back and forth. I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this?" And then we got Crackdown 3.
Oh yeah, Crackdown 3. Gotcha. I liked the Crackdown series. They were kind of silly. They were like a toned down Saints Row, the fourth Saints Row game.
I have to admit, I was like, "Ooh, this looks." I didn't know what it was at first because I never played the Crackdown series, and I'm like, "This looks really cool." I love cyberpunk. I was all excited, and I was like, "Oh, Crackdown! I remember that."
Is that it for Xbox?
Well, that's the exclusives. They also showed off Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, they showed up the co-op feature of that.
That's looking more and more generic. Like, I don't care about it anymore.
So many people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited."
I don't want.
I mean, I haven't even played any of them.
I don't want to play multiplayer Assassin's Creed, and if I did, it sure as hell wouldn't go as stealthy as they did in that demo.
Oh
that,
yeah, definitely.
that demo wasn't stealthy though. I mean, they would just like the guy was standing there. He like created mass panic, and then like the guy got thrown out the window, and then it was all CG of the guy getting his head cut off. Like that was it. There wasn't really much stealth going on. I mean, when you really, at least the one I remember seeing.
Yeah, there wasn't much stealth going on. It was more like
Yeah.
super killing fun. Yay!
Did the new Tomb Raider game get shown at Xboxes?
It might have.
I think yeah.
Well, either way, let's talk about that one. It looks like they're trying to do Uncharted, and also Rise of the Tomb Raider is like the dumbest name ever.
Yeah, it is.
But she doesn't like tombs.
But she's
scared.
going to after this game.
She's scared. Yeah, I don't know. They did such a bang up job with the first one. You know,
They started the trailer off with beating her up again.
I know.
They love just
Like,
beating her up in trailers.
but you want to you'll want to protect her, John.
Yeah.
John, you'll want to protect her. You'll want to just like give her a hug and be like, it's okay.
That's why they made her look a little more average. So she looked like an average girl that you would want to protect.
I mean, I'm all for not making Laura Croft, have triple D's, but yeah. And I want to say that it's probably just they got a stupid marketing guy or something like that, but like this just keeps happening. It's just like once or twice, and like a slip up and like the whole press X and not to get sexually assaulted thing, like that was the product of a stupid PR guy. But this shit just keeps happening. It's just like, come on, guys, get your shit together or just stop. Just don't even try anymore.
yeah, they Xbox also showed off The Division.
Oh yeah.
Which
Man,
one's
you
that?
just keep throwing these games out that I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
E3 was
There's a
exciting
lot.
that we forgot about them all.
Yeah, it's oversaturation. That's the thing.
I think
so
it was-
much going on.
I think it was Sony. I actually watched Sony last, so I think Sony just washed my mind clear of anything interesting that happened. Which one was The Division?
It's this like not post-apocalyptic, but like post-crisis kind of thing going on with New York City, and you just kind of have these clans, and it's kind of like a group survival game, and you have the entire island of Manhattan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that at all. I must have missed that one.
It looks very visually good.
Yeah.
The teamwork aspect, it'll never play out that way when you're playing with
No.
other people, and that worries me. With all of these multiplayer games, they all show like, here's the ideal situation of like teamwork and it working exactly like this.
Yeah, like working as a unit. It's like, that's not how it's going to work. We're not training ourselves to play video games.
Oh, it was it was the Tom Clancy game. Okay,
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it. I don't remember watching the video.
Yeah, there's also another. Well, that's later. That's a different press conference.
Yeah, John, don't save that shit for later.
Yeah.
And other than that, they showed off Dance Central Spotlight. Who cares about that?
I feel
Is that when they made everyone dance in the audience?
No.
I kinda-
Whoa, wait, maybe.
don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I
I
heard, I
kind of
forget,
tuned that out.
I forget who it was, but I heard through a secondhand source that like after the spot was done, like people like went through the crowd and told people to stop dancing.
And other than that, they showed The Witcher 3.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like The Witcher meets Monster Hunter or whatever.
Yeah, that seems to be a trend of a lot of things. I don't know why.
Wasn't that a PC game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone. That's one of those games
Yeah, it's
that everyone
mainly
talks
PC.
about being like really, really good, and I've never played it. I don't know
I need
much
to get
about it.
around to playing. I heard 2 is really good, but I heard like you can skip 1 or whatever. I don't know. All right, let's move on to the travesty that was Electronic Arts' press conference.
Yeah. So I'm completely in the dark with this one. So
Just put it this way: the best game that they showed off was Battlefield.
What was it?
And that says a
Hardline.
lot.
Is that what
Yeah,
it's called?
Hardline. Yeah, that was the best thing that they had. That there was Battlefield Hardline, and that you could play the beta right like then,
Oh,
like
sure,
as they announced it.
sure you can.
You tried, I heard.
Yeah, they announced it. They said go to your Battlefield 4 tab on your PS4 and
Yeah.
sign up for the beta right now. I turn on my PS4. It shows up and it says like 78% available already. And I'm watching a live stream of this. So I hit the button and it just locks up my system pretty much. Then I get a servers under maintenance message. And then PlayStation Network went down.
Yeah, I think they crashed it because I think a lot of people were watching and were like, "Oh shit, let me do that right now."
Yeah, because I quit out of what I was in, opened up, put in the Battlefield 4 disc, realized I didn't need to do that. I could just hit the home button and scroll over to it anyways. But it was terrible. It got to the point where I was on like a blue screen on my PS4 for 5 minutes or so, while it waited for like a server timeout. Fuck
Awesome.
EA.
Oh man.
EA not having foresight about server overload. Oh God.
Oh, I've never heard that.
You mean showing people like a 20-minute video of someone playing the game and having the run of a lifetime that they'll never have when they're actually playing it?
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah. I mean, those were probably mostly pre-recorded.
It's like,
It still looks fun though.
I don't care if there's a dude sitting out there with a controller. It's probably pre-recorded because they don't want to risk that shit. But yeah, I mean, it's a Battlefield game. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not made by DICE.
Be a Battlefield game, and a story.
Yeah.
apparently, when they went to go present it, they said we had this idea that we were going to make, and then we were told to make this Battlefield game. And
nobody wanted to make this.
but they made it sound like it was a plus. I heard that on the Giant Bomb podcast, but it was just terrible. Apparently, how he talks about how he came up with this whole huge design doc, and they told him, "No, you're going to make Battlefield."
That's great.
Wow.
Here, make Battlefield.
Jeez.
Now we own that idea you just gave us.
That poor guy.
Yeah, that sucks. I want to make the ultimate cops and robbers game. Too bad it's Battlefield.
So what else did what else did EA ruin?
Okay, well, let me just outline it by saying here's the problem with that press conference. They showed up with nothing. Like, every game that they were showing off, it was just the developers talking bullshit.
We're so
And
happy
not
to make
actually
this
showing
game.
Yeah, like, what was it? Mirror's Edge 2. They were just talking about the creation of Faith, who's a character that's already designed and made. Why are you talking about that? We already
That's right.
know.
They had like the prototype, like proof of concept video, didn't they?
Yeah, that was for Mirror's Edge 2, Mass Effect 4, Star Wars Battlefront, and
That
yeah.
new Criterion game.
yeah. So they didn't have fucking shit.
My favorite part about the Criterion game, which was that's the crew who made the Burnout and the Need for Speed games of recent, they talked about how this is really early footage. We normally would never show it. And I was just like, yeah, it's going to look good. And then they're just talking it down. and
Yeah.
it was like friggin'
Textureless.
Textureless. You could see like the wireframes in some shots. Like, okay, that is friggin'
That's alpha.
yeah.
That's pre-alpha.
But they're making a game where you drive everything, I guess.
Yeah, can't you do like stunts off of like anything, and, like jump off of shit? And I remember hearing a little bit about it.
I want them to just make a new Burnout.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
This is me saying I want an EA sequel.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
But other than that, I mean, the 5 seconds of Battlefront and Mass Effect 4 that they did show did look really good. It's just that they didn't show enough. I would have been more satisfied if they didn't show anything, honestly.
Well, I mean, a new Battlefront and a new Mass Effect really, you could screw up that footage and you wouldn't know for sure. They're similar enough games that they'd probably maybe they're running on the same engine or something like that. They just made the same.
Yeah, they are.
4
They're
seconds.
both running on. They're both running on Frostbite 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what did they say about like the story of Mass Effect? Did they say it was like entirely new or something like that? Or
they were so fucking vague about it. It kind of pissed me off. I just want to know: is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? Or is it like something that kind of goes alongside of the story,
universe.
or an alternate universe? I just want to know. Get on with it. It's been like over 2 years since Mass Effect 3 came out, and they've been working on this like since like half a year before Mass Effect 3 came out. It was like a different team. It's a different team working on it. They said it's 50% done, but bullshit. That trailer tells me that nothing's done.
or nothing is done that's polished enough to show.
Yeah. Like those are like concept renders that they were like showing off.
Yeah.
They might not even be part of the game. And they showed off Dragon Age, which I don't really care about.
I don't think anyone cared about Dragon Age.
Except like the 12 people that play Dragon Age.
Yeah. I was excited when they showed off one of their sports games.
NHL?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
like the other half of their conference, sports games.
Oh yeah, but it was the only interesting part was first off they showed Madden and it looked worse than the old Madden. Like visually. It looked like it was shiny. Like that we were talking about that Metal Gear? It kind of looked like that. Like in the texture department. But the NHL looks really good. It was like a 30-second clip, so you couldn't. It was of recorded gameplay footage, but like in the presented way, like it was a trailer. So it really wasn't them playing it. I want to see someone just actually sit down and play a game of NHL on that. But they showed off
They're not gonna do that, though.
FIFA.
I heard FIFA looked pretty bad too.
They showed a guy running with a foot. I just said football. Wow. With a soccer
John's
ball.
turning European.
At this rate, it might have been a football.
Yeah, but they're talking about like it's really running this time, which
It's such a low polygon count. It's not even a sphere. It's a football.
every year it's like this. All the Madden stuff was stuff that was in previous Maddens that they took out at one point. Like it's transparent that they're like, we're gonna just sneak this in as a brand new feature.
Even though it was an old feature that we took out.
Or something that was already in the game but might have not had a name for it. Like, this time it's like, you can control the defensive player with the camera behind the defensive player. And I'm like, sweet Jesus. You've changed everything. It's a different camera.
Hashtag game changer.
I think
Quite
they had
literally.
something called Game Changer in their game once.
Oh god.
I'm not even kidding.
Do they have something called X Factor too? We're just going to use every cliche in the book.
No, I don't think
it is
they would.
EA, so
That's next year. When they talk shit about this game.
Yeah, hopefully next year they actually show up with some games.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Ubisoft, who was a much big, like automatically improvement over EA.
Yeah, I have to say that it's a love-hate relationship with me and Alicia Tyler?
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
Because you don't like when she says girlwood, and I can understand that. That's kind of weird.
Well, she didn't say it, but she was wearing a shirt that was an image of a girl and a piece of and a bone. So like girl boner, I guess this time.
See, I was
Whatever.
figuring it'd be like the woman symbol for like a bathroom, and then like a log, so like girl wood, but
It wasn't much
Just
different than that.
just like a boner, just like a girl bone.
Well, last
Bone and
year
girls.
she wore a shirt that had hashtag girlwood.
Yeah,
So
I mean
she's making
she's
a market, like she's making a brand out of it.
yeah. I have a feeling some marketing dude somewhere is wringing his hands, saying, "Yeah, it's girlwood. Everyone's going to love it."
You don't sound nearly French
God.
enough for it.
Oh yes, girlwood. I don't know what accent that was, but it wasn't great.
But yeah, the first thing that I caught on the Ubisoft conference, I don't think it was the first thing they showed. I missed some of it, but Far Cry 4, I was like,
Yeah, that was the first they showed.
I was blown away. Like I didn't really pay attention to Far Cry 3 or anything, so I got to check that out now because that shit looked bananas. I want to get that game.
The only thing I know about Far Cry 3 is that there's some sort of sacrificial ritual that's going to go on, and there's boobies. That's seriously the only two things that I know.
That's the only thing I knew too. But
Well, I know
now I'm
that
kind of interested.
they showed off like the cover of some shot of the cover art of Far Cry 4, and everyone was all like, "This guy's gay," because he was like wearing pink. He looked a little flamboyant. And I'm like, you're just assuming he's gay because he looks flamboyant, and you're making a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the trailer, he seemed like just a regular old crazy guy.
Yeah, he's the villain.
He
Or
flamboyant,
something.
but not
Yeah.
like in a homosexual way.
Maybe he's just eccentric.
Yeah,
And if he's gay, who gives a shit?
yeah, and I was hearing people arguing like I couldn't tell if he was gay or not. I'm like, that's good.
That's called he's a human being, not a stereotype. Which is saying something for Ubisoft, since they made
Yeah.
Desmond. And Fish Lips, the most one-dimensional characters in any game I've ever played.
Don't you been making fun of Desmond?
Is that his name?
Okay, so
Yeah, and we already talked about Assassin's Creed.
yeah, so the big news with Ubisoft was the revival of Rainbow Six.
Cool.
It
Are
looks
they-
like Counter Strike.
Are they finally going? So they never. There was that. I think it was Rainbow Six. It was called like Patriots
Oh yeah, I guess that's
in development hell somewhere.
yeah.
Because
I
that
think
looked
that got canceled.
like that was super duper like prototype like on the rails gameplay. Like they programmed it to do it, but it was a really cool trailer. I really liked the look of that one. It was like you grab the businessman at the end with the bomb strapped to his chest, and you're like, "Sorry, bro, threw him off a bridge." Just like don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
That Rainbow
I think they canceled it because of it was like too similar to like a situation that like happened like right after. I don't remember, some sort of political bullshit.
Yeah, maybe because I mean it was basically like the Patriots, which are the terrorist group, and it were basically like extremist Tea Party members that like were going to rich people's houses and like strapping bombs to their chests. So that probably someone thought, hey, this is a great idea, and then someone actually looked at it and was like, maybe we shouldn't do this right now.
Yeah, so it might come back for all we know, and when it's more appropriate, or they might tweak the idea. But at the moment, we have this Rainbow Six Siege, which is like Counter Strike.
That's the one where they were like trying to get the hostage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like that looks really cool. Again, that is another example of I don't think it will ever play that way because no one's going to be that coordinated unless you come in there with a group of friends.
You know, I've played some Rainbow Six games before, and you'd be surprised at the accidental coordination that happens. Like maybe not like you're an actual, like SEAL team or whatever, but like every once in a while you guys shine. It just kind of happens that way.
Well, at one point, one of their teammates loses the hostage, and the other guy's like, "That's okay, bro." Like in real life, that'd be like racial slur. I had sex with your mom.
You dumb motherfucker! Yeah.
I like how that was phrased as a question.
I had sex with your mom?
It's what's expected of me now.
Yeah. Cool. So new Rainbow Six, new Assassin's Creed. Yeah.
The way the building gets destroyed in that game, though, that Rainbow Six game, it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one with the... was that like the crane that crashed into the building?
No, that was Battlefield.
Was that Battlefield? I remember that one scene from some trailer, and I guess it was Battlefield. That looked pretty cool, too. All right, anything else on Ubisoft?
The Crew.
Oh, yeah. That's a racing game. It has leaderboards.
Hooray.
It has it's built after being like after the United States, so you have certain sections where you can just drive from one end of the country to the other, but I assume it's not going to take 30 hours.
Yeah, is it going to be seamless though?
I hope.
Yeah, I would hope so. That'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool. I always thought it'd be cool, like if someone partnered up with like Google Maps and like just modeled out like major area, like like you could download maps of like the area you live in to like drive race cars around in.
Well, Gran Turismo 6 is supposed to have a feature where you can get GPS data and make a track based on your GPS data. That game's been out since October, and nothing like that in it yet.
Yeah, because I mean, I know
probably too hard to implement.
I know. I don't remember what program it was, but I remember one time I was making. It was like a 3D modeling program that you could input like basically like a normal map, just from a picture, and like it would model the area and like do the different like textures and stuff based on what the picture looked like. So if it was like blue, it would be like a water texture, like that kind of thing. And like that thing worked really terribly, but it was a free program that I probably got from somewhere. So I imagine somewhere along the line someone could take just like Google Maps and like maybe like elevation, like a topographical map somewhere, and just like dump that into a computer and like make a game from that.
One day, maybe.
Because like I know around where you live and I used to live, John. Like there's some cool like back roads around there that would be actually like fun to do at like 90 miles an hour with no cars on the road.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've never done that, officer. I wasn't in a vet. What are you talking about?
That sounds dangerous.
No, it was fine. It was a straight road. Anything else from Ubisoft?
I think that's it.
On to the snore fest that was Sony, I guess.
I'm ready to take the defensive position on the fact. No, I didn't think it was a snores fest.
There just wasn't a lot that happened. Like they talked way too much about that superhero show they were going to do. They talked way too much about PlayStation TV.
That is true. They could have just cut that entirely out, and it would have been fine.
Like, had they put that at the beginning and then like got you hyped up with everything, but they were like, here are all these games, and it's just like, now let's sit down and have a very calm business presentation by the new. I guess he was the new CEO or president.
Yeah, I'm guessing there was a lot of investors there or something.
Well, I mean, that's what E3's turned into anyway. It's just an investor meeting pretty much. But, it just seemed very, very much like it was a business. It was definitely an investors meeting. Like, here's our new product,
Here are the numbers.
Here are the numbers, yeah. He said metrics unironically, so that tells you how it went.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the lead. They can do it.
Past that, though, I mean, like, They had some interesting sort of things, but most of it was just CG trailers again, like Uncharted. I mean,
No, that was not a CG trailer.
really?
Really, that was the in-game engine.
Okay. I mean, it definitely looked like they were channeling Tomb Raider, though, which is just weird and like collapsing in on itself now. What else did they show for that? They showed Broforce, which was very weird. Yeah, Bloodborne as well.
Okay, they showed No Man's Sky, which
Yeah.
that is a really
Yeah, it was like before. It was like, hey, these are our planets, and hey, this is space, and it's like, well, you say that's how it's going to work, and then it's like, well, let's take off from the ship, go through the asteroid field. Hey, look, there's a space battle going on. Now let's go down into a canyon onto another planet. And I was like, well, you sold me.
I'm buying that.
The fact that it's just seamless, like, oh, let me just take off. Oh, there's a space battle. Oh, yeah, that planet looks cool. Okay,
Yeah.
you are.
The transitions, like I was looking, like obviously they don't fully render the entire planet, until you get into the atmosphere. But like watching the transitions just from since I've been doing a little bit with Unity, like knowing kind of how that shit works a little bit, like it was really cool to see the way they did it. Like it went like from like flat to like a flat texture, like a skybox sort of thing, to like a full environment, like pretty seamlessly. Like you could see it a little bit, but like it wasn't enough that it brought me out of it. Like I was still super fucking hyped the entire time because it looked great. And it just, it was going around, you're like, hey, look, new species, and hey, look, new planet, and hey, look, new plants, and it's just like, let's take off in this thing that kind of looks like an X-Wing, avoid this space battle, and go to another planet. And it's like, all right, let's do this.
I wonder what the point will be, though?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, actually. Like, this will be...
The same point as Minecraft.
Well, I mean, but, like, Minecraft, you mine and craft, and you have to, like, eat and shit, and, like...
Okay.
At some point, there's at least some sort of game element there. Like, you kind of make your own quest. Like what are you gonna go do? But like in doing so, you still have to keep up with the game elements of surviving. But like this doesn't seem like. I mean, granted, it's still in development.
Here's the thing. I read in an interview with the guy. It's permadeath. When you die, you start over.
Well, that sucks.
So the point is to stay afloat and build your ship and not die as long as you can, and discover new worlds. That's going to be the point.
And maybe get I guess it'll be like a resource management kind of thing. Like you have to keep finding new worlds, get more ship to build your ship out of.
Yeah, and when you destroy other ships, you'll get rewards for it.
See, like. I just hope it doesn't turn into like Eve, that it's just like super duper, everyone's super hardcore about it, and like then
it definitely will.
But I mean,
I don't think it's online in the same way that I think it's like it's all the same universe, but it's not like everyone's playing the same server.
Yeah, he said that it's like the opposite of an MMO. You're going to be so spread out that it's going to be very rare that you run into someone else. And if you do, it'll probably be some sort of magnificent thing that happens. You'll be like, oh my god, another person's on my world.
Then you'll shoot them down and kill them.
Or you die and you lose that world that you were on.
And then you just cry.
And you're like, god damn it, where was that?
The way he was talking, I guess maybe like you'll physically lose it, but it's not gone or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. No.
I heard them talk about how they have an AI that makes the worlds, that generates them. And they have another AI that checks those worlds.
Yeah, I mean...
Those guys are geniuses.
You'd have to. Like, just procedurally generated, like... I mean, you'd have to, otherwise you'll... I think it'd be... I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny, like, you just come into a world that's completely uninhabitable. Because, I mean, in the end, something like that could happen, Like, you'll find a planet that's just, like, overrun with, like, horrible rocks and, like, you can't land because... it's an infinite universe, and that's what you'll eventually find. Hopefully they keep some of that stuff in there, because I think that adds a little bit of flavor. Like, you can only fly over top of it, you can't actually go there.
Yeah, that'd be really... It would add some variability to it. And then on top of that, you have, like... The development of it is probably really dependent on making sure that the game can run properly, so they have to dumb down the technology and graphics, so they have to make a really strong art style, and you can see that it's extremely colorful and nice looking, but it doesn't look realistic per se. It just looks good.
Yeah.
And there are like dinosaurs everywhere, so I'm super okay with that.
I just can't wait to play it. We don't know what it's going to be like, but it's definitely the most interesting game at E3, I think.
Yeah. What else did they do? Bloodborne. We didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that, of course.
My question is why the gameplay footage leaked. Why didn't they show gameplay footage?
I found out about that actually. That trailer was like an internal one, meant for just pitching the idea. They've been working on it since after they finished the DLC for Dark Souls 1, and that trailer is from about 6 months of development. So it's like over a year old.
Oh, okay.
That trailer that leaked. I don't know how it leaked, but that's the story behind that. And the build that they were showing off behind closed doors at E3, that's pre-alpha. So the one that they got leaked was like pre-alpha.
Proof of concept more of it?
Yeah, proof of concept.
Oh, okay. It was just weird that of all the things that leaked, that they showed a little bit different maybe, but that it was just that they didn't show the gameplay footage for it. That was just kind of weird, but yeah, I guess that makes
I thought
sense.
that was weird too. But I was still excited regardless. I wanted to know if it was well, I knew it was actually called Bloodborne the moment they said, and now we're showing Bloodborne, and then it was directed by Hideteki Miyazaki. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is it.
Seeing the live reaction from people when his name came up, people knew exactly what they were seeing now.
Yeah, that was cool. That's cool that people know him now. It's yeah, I'm cool now. I'm in the industry, and I'm known. I bet he's all excited.
Or just dead from working so hard on games.
That's true. I'm not sure. I don't think he's like Kojima, where he's you could see the excitement on his face.
Oh man. There was that weird game with the two birds in it. What was that called?
Oh shit! What was that called?
It looked dumb though.
They also announced Little Big Planet 3.
Hey, I was really happy when that happened. I was like, yay!
Man, that demo was fine, but it went on for 10 more minutes than it needed
because
to.
it was real. It wasn't scripted.
Yeah,
Well,
because they sucked at it.
Yeah, they were fucking terrible,
They
which made the game look like it's slogged on and fucking terrible, and makes me want to play it even less. And
well, the actual trailer they showed off after that looked good. But anyway, go on.
It's just it'll be another Little Big Planet game, and that's all I have to say about it.
I own Little Big Planet 2 from that PSN downtime, and I've yet to play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only played the first one, and it's really only a good game if you have friends to come over and play it with. Otherwise, it's not really that fun of a game to just play on your own.
I don't know. John and I played it for a little bit, and it was
You could change facial expressions with the D-pad.
Whoa!
Now you can do it with the touchpad.
Can you really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
This changes everything.
Hashtag game changer.
Game changer.
What was
Other
the
than
other?
that, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh yeah, it's just an uprising, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've made the good.
Last of Us too.
Yeah.
I've made the
But
right
that's been
choice
out for a while.
by not buying Grand Theft Auto 5 already.
Yeah, I remember last week you were saying you were holding out to see if there would be a next-gen version, and there you go.
I will finally play that game.
And it looks 5 times better, so...
Yeah. Anything else on Sony?
Dead Island 2.
Oh yeah, at least that was kind of funny. It was the exact opposite of the Dead Island 1 trailer.
Yeah.
Where it was Dead Island 1 trailer, you had no idea really what it was, but it looked fucking fantastic. And Dead Island 2's trailer, you knew exactly what it was, and it looked fucking terrible.
You didn't like that music?
It was all right. It was kind of humorous. I got a chuckle about it, but it was just like, eh.
Let me just cover up this zombie bite and go take a jog.
Yeah, like the chaos that just kept going on in the background was kind of funny, and then he just like slowly turned into a zombie, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
And Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah. Is that going to be fully open world?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like really that big?
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'll
it
play.
looks like. It got delayed till next year though. Which kind of sucks. I was looking forward to playing it this year.
The whole launching out of the Batmobile thing was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, you're on the ground. How do you get? Oh, you just launch yourself out of the Batmobile. Gotcha. I don't know. Is that Gotham Knight? Is that what that one is?
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. That's what I mean.
They had to have
And,
Arkham in the title somehow.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Even though they're in Gotham now.
So was Arkham Oranges.
Well, they did show one last thing. If no one else has anything else to talk about in Sony,
Go ahead.
which was the Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah.
I was about to ask, are we ready to talk about
I was
that?
gonna say, is there anything else to mention on that one? On PlayStation, I guess we already talked about the Uncharted thing. Tomb Raider was on there as well. It was weird to see all those indie games on like the Vita like ad that they did and like talk about them on the screen, and I guess that's really all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
So yes, Metal Gear Solid.
The most
I know.
important trailer at E3.
And they cut out all the important parts. So
At the Sony conference, but who cares? We're just going to talk about the trailer as is.
like I know everyone's been making fun of the whole like spreading ashes on his face thing, but
yeah,
like,
I know. I
that
fucking
was
love cocaine.
that was fucking hardcore. Like I fucking like that was like I was totally in like a Kojima moment, like just like totally into it, and like that was just like the most like badass insane shit ever. You know, especially the parallel between him covered in blood and then like they're, you know, all that shit. Like, but like the fucking "We Are Diamond Dogs" line like solidified Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss to me. Like I have not played whatchamacallit yet,
Ground
Zeroes yet, but like I will be okay entirely with him because just that fucking line was just like so weird and out there, but like also the most badass thing like he could have said at that moment, and it was great.
It really the best thing about the trailer is it really solidifies the idea that Big Boss is becoming this monster and he's going to be a complete fucking villain.
Well, he's had everything taken away from him how many times now?
All the time.
Every single game.
Yep. Oh.
And speaking of violence again, we were talking about how, you know, Tomb Raider starts out with Laura getting beat up, you know, Quiet's being strangled and thrown underwater.
Yeah,
you know, like,
shit.
But
that scene, I think that's the part where Kojima said it was going to be hard to watch.
No, I think the entire thing was just supposed to be hard to watch. I mean,
yeah.
I'm guessing that was Otacon's father. Is that who that was supposed
Huey.
to be?
Yeah, that's Huey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor Huey.
Yeah, I guess he's a good guy against the bad guys now. I don't really know what's going on.
But I mean, was that Ocelot like on the mother base?
Yeah.
And
Ocelot was just walking around.
yeah, with Big Boss in the same scene. Was that, or is that a different cut?
No, I think that's the same cut.
So they also showed Ocelot. Was it Huey being tortured?
That's what it looked like.
So
yeah, Huey's being tortured.
is Big Boss torturing Huey?
I don't think... No, wait, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's not... Big Boss isn't in that room, I don't think. I think it's Miller and Ocelot.
So, at what point do they start torturing people? Like...
the moment they want answers from Huey for why the fuck was Mother Base destroyed. Why the fuck did Big Boss get attacked?
But
How did this happen? Why'd you let this happen? How
that's
dare you?
explained in Ground Zeroes.
Sort of. But it's not explained to those characters.
Oh, true. I am excited. I'm also glad that Mother Base still exists in some form.
As the big shell.
It's Outer Heaven.
Yeah.
That's Outer Heaven. like for real.
He said it was going to span some time, right?
Yeah.
I really want it to be like that's the start of Outer Heaven, like right before Solid Snake gets there. Like that is where I want this game to go, and I would get so fucking hype if that happened.
Well, apparently it's like every time someone asks him when the game's coming out, Kojima answers 1984.
Yeah. Which might, if that's a cryptic meaning for like August something like 8-4 or whatever, I'm totally for that.
I think that's just when the
coming out
game's
this
taking
year.
place.
Yeah, I know. A man can dream, right?
But that
I
puts
want this game so bad.
that puts some time between Metal Gear 1 and the time of the game if it stays around the 80s.
Yeah.
As I said, it may just be like the setup for the situation, you know.
But it's fun. It's interesting because I feel like ever since he kind of closed a lot of loose ends in Metal Gear Solid 4 in a very bad way, that he also he started to build what Peace Walker and what this game is going to be with the whole Zero stuff at the end of 4.
Yeah, because at the end of 4 was just like, what the hell is going on with Zero? Where did this come from?
Yeah, Zero and Big Boss are just there. So I think he had this whole... He might have had this whole arc planned out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Better than flying off the damn handle when they're like, you need to make a Metal Gear Solid 3 and then a 4. And then you have... like the prequel worked in 3 because he could just go back in time and not have to worry about the mess he left at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
But then he had to go answer those questions, and the game really suffered for it story-wise, in my opinion.
That's true. Mechanic-wise, though, 4 is fantastic. It has some of the most... I think gameplay-wise, 4 is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Between the Octo Camo and the Metal Gear Mark II, stuff like that, and the face camo.
Yeah.
A lot of people would argue 3.
No, I mean 3's my favorite overall, but I think 4 has the best mechanics.
No, I mean like even gameplay wise, like I think a lot of people would argue 3. I mean I haven't played through 4 very much, so I'm not sure, but I know like I guess because of the difference in the way the camo worked and like everything that went on with it, like I guess.
Yeah, I know. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, let's talk about the most important thing in the world: using the Fulton recovery system on sheep.
Yes,
That was I literally laughed for like 10 minutes when I saw that, and I was just like, man, I gotta keep going with these Metal Gear Solid games and get caught up.
Yeah,
and then your sheep will just be walking around Mother Base.
I really need to like finish Peace Walker, but I think I'll just end up like looking on YouTube and like listening to all the little cassette tape recordings and then watch the cutscenes and kind of go from there.
I think I'm actually going to do it. I think I'm going to actually play it for real because Phantom Pains just getting me so hyped.
Yeah, I mean, Portable. I played Portable Ops, of course, and that wasn't actually too long. It was shorter than I thought it was going to be, and it was a lot easier. But I cheated for the last level where you have to get the frequencies because fuck that shit. That was ridiculous. But you know, like that would only add another like 25-30 minutes to the game time, and I finished it like within a week with sporadic game time. So I imagine Peace Walker's not too much different.
It is. Well, first off, I'll say that Portable Ops, Kojima did not touch like the building of that game.
Well, I know that. I just mean like game time wise, because they're both PSP games, aren't they?
Yeah, but I've heard people putting like over like 120 hours into Peace Walker, just like one playthrough. So it can go really long.
A lot of it is like almost in a way grinding missions to build Metal Gear Zeke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you've already pretty much known a bit of the spoilers since, you know, you've paid attention to Ground Zeroes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you already know that. I don't know. I won't go into further detail and
Ruin it
yeah.
for me.
but it's crazy. I like that game. It had some cutscenes that were pretty cool. I am completely over that. I used to not like those comic book cutscenes at all, but
They're cool though.
It's been done enough that it's become very Metal Gear to me. It's kind of funny how that was. I was so opposed against it.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, like, just practically, they're very resource light, which is really nice. Oh man, yeah, I totally want to play Metal Gear Solid games. After watching that, I was so fucking hyped up. I was so into it. I was so, like, I didn't care how dumb it really was. I just was the greatest thing ever to me, and I was totally in with it.
Each trailer outdoes the last. I don't know how he does it.
He's got, like, awesome background music choice too. Like, it sets the tone really well. And it's all music I've never heard before.
It's all good music. It's like, where's he get this stuff from? It's awesome.
It's great.
All right.
Do we want
Are
to talk?
Are we done gushing on Metal Gear?
He turns his people into diamonds and puts them into battle.
We'll turn them into diamonds and carry them into battle. We are diamond dogs. I love that.
Yeah.
It's
great.
Did he stab a kid?
No.
Yeah, he stabbed Eli.
He probably did the whole, like, stab downwards and, like, stab next to his head thing. I mean, you know Kojima. He loved, like, that happens all the time in movies, and he loves doing that kind of shit.
I feel like Kojima is going to have Big Boss kill a kid bluntly in the game.
Well, yeah, probably. I mean,
not Eli though.
That was
Eli, 'cause he's liquid.
Yeah, probably
kills Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid is actually a nanomachine clone of Big Boss, and that's what actually happened in Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm calling it.
I wish I.
What was the other thing I was gonna say? The other thing was, like, that scene near the end where he, like, kills all those soldiers. Like, those dudes weren't trying.
Oh, yeah.
Those dudes were, like, his guys. Like, totally his guys. Like, he just fucking shot all of them. And, you know, I'm guessing it's just getting kind of to a point where, like, Big Boss is just like a untouchable godlike figure to them, that they just follow him blindly to the depths of hell. Like, is that kind of what's going on? Am I reading that right?
I think you are.
Because when I saw that, I was like, those aren't enemies. Those are, like, his guys that he's just, like, blowing brains out of.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
He's doing a really good job of making these really good trailers while not giving away the story, like, at all. Which Metal Gear Solid 3 was real bad at that, because if you kind of paid attention real hard, you kind of got, like, all the story beats.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about the elephant in the room, though? At the end of the trailer, with Big Boss just kind of chilling with Skullface. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't catch that. I watched the trailer once.
Yeah, there's the one scene at the end with the Metal Gear in the background, and, like, Big Boss just looks over to the right, and it's Skullface, and they're, like, walking together, and they go downward.
Oh, okay.
I was so focused on
I was
Metal Gear.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I just completely missed that.
Because I never saw what Zeke looked like since I never finished Metal Gear Peace Walker. So I thought that was Rex. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's Zeke, but it might be, like, the next step of Zeke. You know?
And then it gets to get downgraded for the one in Outer Heaven. Whatever, Metal Gear 1.
Metal Gear...
I imagine if they ever retouch that, they're going to...
make it fucking cool looking?
Yeah. Retcon it.
Retcon they have to at this point, because the technology in Peace Walker is so far in advance of what's in, like, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2.
Well, I mean, Metal Gear 1 and 2, they made, like, he definitely designed it off of, like, 80s like futuristic movies like Terminator and the like, that it looked really good for, like, it looked like it was from those kind of movies, you know, and then Metal Gear Solid Rex was definitely more like a modern sort of, like, giant robot sort of deal, and then, you know, Ray more so, and so on and so forth. But so probably yeah, they'll retcon it and make them a little more angled and cool looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kojima did say that he was going to retcon some things.
Yeah,
and that people weren't going to be happy.
So is he just going to keep making Metal Gear Solid games in a loop until the day he dies?
I don't know. He said that this is going to be the last one, but he said the same thing about 4 and the same thing about 3.
2. And
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We
it's
don't know.
just at any time he lets someone else take over, they kind of fuck it up.
Yep. Happened with Metal Gear Solid Rising, and he had to give that to Platinum. It happened with Portable Ops, and then he had to do whatchamacallit instead.
Ignores Portable Ops entirely in the canon.
He doesn't ignore Revengeance, though. He likes Revengeance.
Yep. He says that is part of the canon.
Yeah.
But that's because Kojima Productions wrote the story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was in-house, but I guess certain aspects of it was done by like gameplay was Platinum.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I've touched it once or twice, and that is Platinum, in and out.
Though the environments look like they were built by, because there was a early trailer of Metal Gear Rising that was when it was still entirely in Kojima Productions, and
Yeah.
it's like the exact area that was in a level in.
It was
the main
probably
game.
just like, hey, we have a bit of this, we have some of these assets. Do you want them? And it was like, hey, this will cut down on our development time. Sure,
we can't make this game fun. Can you make it fun?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Kojima said in that one video explaining it.
Yeah. Didn't he make everyone come out and apologize? Something like that.
He felt really. They were gonna just flat out cancel the game.
And then Platinum
And then
jet boots slided in with the Vanquish suit on. We're like, don't worry, guys, we got this.
Yep, they did a damn good job.
I still have to play it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 4 Peace Walker, Revengeance, and then I'll maybe at that point I'll get around to getting a PS4 because I want to play it on its obviously native console, and I imagine they developed it for PS4 even at the next gen, even if they downgraded it for everything. I want to see it in all of its majesty.
Well, Ground Zeroes looks really good on PS4, I have to say.
Yes, it does. But you should get the new white PS4.
That was what was that?
Was it Destiny?
Yeah, it's bundled with Destiny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention Evolved at all. That looked like a video game.
Yeah. That was a video game.
Yeah.
What?
It looked like...
No.
Yeah. I don't know. They didn't really show too much of it, but yeah.
I just think it's cool that you can play as the monster.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw that at... we saw the monster at... we didn't get to see anything about it because the lines were 2.5 hours long, but we saw that at PAX, John.
Oh, okay. That's that monster. Okay.
Yep. But, yeah, I mean...
That game kind of flew way under my radar.
Yeah. Anyways, was that it for Sony? Anyone got
Yeah.
anything else?
That's it.
Xenoblade Chronicles, isn't that what it was? Xenogear Chronicles, wasn't there one of those in there? Nothing?
No.
You guys don't remember that? One of them. Yeah, it's like some sort of weird Xenoblades thing. Anyways, Nintendo, they fucking...
I completely missed that. You have to fill me in.
Oh,
I don't know.
You didn't see Nintendo?
All I saw was the Zelda trailer.
So they started off very strong with Iwata and Reggie Matrix fighting. It was the greatest thing ever. And then they went straight into Smash and knocked it.
Was that
out of the park.
before or after the Robot Chicken style?
That was after. Yeah, they had a
Okay.
Robot Chicken. No, that was Robot Chicken, man. That was straight up. That wasn't Robot Chicken style. They must have hired Seth Green to do it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then you can see Reggie and Iwata's fight online somewhere probably, but they're just in a black room, a black expanse, and they just come up under low lighting and look at each other, and they just start running at each other, and there's just this ridiculous fight that goes on, and then it goes into introducing the Mii fighters and doing the Skylanders thing for Nintendo now.
Oh, yeah. The Amiibo? Is that what it's called?
I think that's what they call it, yeah.
that is going to be a money sink.
Probably, yeah, but good for them, I guess. Yeah, then they went into what we'll talk about. I'll talk about the one that kind of surprised. It's Splatoon. You remember that one, John?
Yeah, a new Nintendo IP.
It's a third-person shooter, but they have, instead of being like bullets, they have like super soakers full of like paint, and you can do really cool you're like a regular looking character, like you're your color, and the idea is to cover the most of the environment that you can with your paint, and you turn into like a squid, and you can like swim in your color, and like using the environment, you can like launch off of things like really quickly, and like go up walls and shit, and you can shoot other people and stuff, but they just kind of pop and then like respawn. So it's like a super super cartoony, like kid friendly third person shooter that actually looks really fun.
Yeah, if you run into, like, if you walk over paint that's not your color, you get slowed down. And you go faster in your own paint. That kind of nonsense. But it definitely looks like Nintendo is trying to get a competitive game, like they saw shooters doing real well. They knew that they're a kids company or kid focused, not being violent, and they seem to have nailed an idea that really hits that weird market
Demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really cool, Nick. They had like a bunch of they were like team based matches kind of thing, and as I said, you try to cover the most of the screen as you can. And at the end, they do like a fast forward, like you see the teams like go through and like paint everything from like an aerial view, and it's just like it just fast forwards through the match, and you just see it like people take over rooms and then get pushed back and then take over the room again. It was a really cool little thing.
That might be neat.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it.
I just want to know, like, it wasn't really like a conference, was it?
No, it was their digital direct thing.
So like the stuff that they've been doing for like the past year.
This time, I think they nailed exactly what they wanted to do. It wasn't like they just sit still, stare at the camera, and talk. It was like a presentation, and the first time all E3 that I felt really excited to see anything.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really cool looking. They did a really good job with it all around, and it was a really good presentation. Reggie was up and he was talking to the audience, that kind of thing. Then they did Yoshi's Yarn or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's a Yoshi game that's kind of like that Kirby Yarn game, but more.
And then Kirby upgraded from Yarn to Clay.
Yeah.
It's like a touchpad game where like Kirby keeps going and you keep like putting platforms in the way and he keeps rolling around and stuff. It looks kind of fun. Everything looks like it's Clay. I don't understand how like Little Big Planet doesn't look like it's home, like it's actually made of real materials, and like the Yoshi's thing, everything looks like it's made out of yarn, and that Kirby thing, everything looks like it's made out of clay. It's awesome.
Yeah, the coolest part was when they showed, because they had like a yarn company like do advice on the game, like design, and they showed little Yoshis made out of yarn, like entirely knitted out of yarn. They could sell those for like $30.
I'd buy one probably.
Yeah. I'm not even like a diehard Nintendo person, but I would have bought one.
Oh, you know what? The Xenoblades thing was for Nintendo. That's right, because I thought it was going to be a Metroid game. It was that X game that was being previewed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Xenoblade Chronicles or something like that.
Wasn't it like a Xenogears X or something?
Yeah, it was like Xenoblade, or Xenogears X Chronicles or whatever. I don't remember the name very well. I'm super prepared, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, they also revealed Pac-Man and some chick, I didn't know who she was. I guess she's from Kid Icarus, as in Smash as well, along with the Mii fighters.
Yeah, they had like I think it was like at the very end of their like a little video conference, because they were doing like game announcements all day on their Twitch channel, which is weird to say. So they had like this anime cutscene where it shows what Mario versus
Link and Pit fighting.
Oh, Link and Pit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Mario and Link, they're so the same, but they're fighting, and then all of a sudden, I guess the like god character in Kid Icarus comes down and fights for him or against him.
Yeah.
But there's like this little moment where they show like that woman's character's ass and then zooms on her chest and then shows her face, and I'm like, I thought that was really weird.
I didn't even remember that, honestly. That's pretty bad if that's actually what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if they intended it that way, but it just was like, we're going to show off her ass, we're going to show off her chest, and then here's the character.
I'd like to think it was a little more innocent than that. It was like, hey, you know what this costume is? Like dragging along the reveal just a little bit longer.
Yeah, maybe I'm not an innocent mind, so...
Well, yeah, but you're probably right. It was probably just like, hey, look at this ass and titties.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors looked really cool. It made me think, hey, maybe Koei doesn't make bad games anymore.
That is crazy still that game...
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, and apparently everyone has a unique opening a chest animation, which is awesome. And, Zelda looks really cool in it, and she's a playable character with a sword. The chick from... What's that one where Link turns into a wolf? That's right, you guys don't play Zelda games.
I've played Wind Waker, and I loved it.
And I'm playing Ocarina of Time, finally.
Yeah, that one... I forget which one it is.
Twilight Princess?
Twilight Princess,
okay.
Yeah. That like weird little imp thing riding around on Wolf Link is one of the characters.
I forgot he turned into a wolf in that game.
Yeah. It looks okay. There's a bunch of cool different combos and animations and like big old attacks and shit, but it still looks like a Koei game where you're just like on a nondescript battlefield where nothing really interesting is going on except that there's a billion enemies around you. And while that can be fun for a while, it gets old very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think I'll be buying it, but I'm not a huge Dynasty Warriors fan.
Yeah, maybe Kevin will get it and play it on your Wii U.
Yeah, that's true. I own a Wii U.
Yeah. Then there was the Zelda reveal, which
I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh, was it such a good reveal? Like
that was mind blowing.
They were talking about the reveal was. Did you see like the reveal how like they worked up to it, or did you just see the little snippet of the trailer?
No, I saw the workup and everything.
Oh my gosh, they were just like, hey, you remember this old game? That was a pretty good old game. We drew some inspiration from that, and like the way they did it, it felt like they were just gonna be like show you a logo and that was it, and then it was just like. He literally snapped his fingers, and the game was there behind him, and I was like, "Damn!"
I liked how they explained game design a little bit there. They explained how they made the first Zelda was open world and in a crazy way that they've been kind of trying to emulate ever since they went to 3D, but it was always been like an open wide area, which you then go into a smaller area.
Yeah.
To have like a unique area there. Since games can't handle wide areas back then, and then
see that's how the Mass Effect trailer should have been done.
Yeah. But then like that big thing shooting fire everywhere, and like the environmental effects and like its animation and everything, like
showing Link at the end.
Yeah, Link without the green suit and everything. Like it all looked really good. I wondered what was in game and what wasn't.
I heard
it was all in game.
I heard them hinting that might not be Link.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's never Link, is it? But I mean, like they say it's in game, but you know how engines change. I mean, Dark Souls was in game, and now it doesn't look like that. Watch Dogs was in game, and it doesn't look like that. The things change. That's what I mean. Like, is that going to reflect exactly what it's going to look like? But I mean, it looked really good. It looked better than a lot of the other next gen games, which doesn't make any sense at all, but is awesome.
I think it's just because the it's the same thing with No Man's Sky. The art style is just so strong. It makes that much of a difference.
He was talking up how it'd be an open world, and like where I heard complaints of like the Wii, the most recent Wii Zelda game, which it was like it told
Skyward Sword?
Yeah, it told you how to do everything and when to do it, and walked you through everything. Where
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't go that way.
it sounds like they may have listened to a lot of complaints on that. So hopefully, yeah, that would be really cool. I would play that game. I'm going to. I'll just say that right now.
It looks good.
John, did you catch the Star Fox hinting at the end?
That was so obvious.
That was so damn obvious.
Like, to the point where it was intentionally obvious.
Oh yeah, it was intentionally obvious. There was deep hinting at a new Star Fox game. It was like a blurred out screen, but he was clearly flying like an R-wing, and he clearly hit the end of the area, did a loop-to-loop, and turned around. You know, like
you could see him shooting lasers. It was in the shape of a Star Fox. What are they called? Their ships?
the R-wings.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It was clearly that, iconic look.
Yeah, and it was... Who was that? Was that Iwata?
I don't know. I think it was...
That was Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was Miyamoto. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as I said, Sony made it all blend together. But yeah. I mean, there was just... Everything just looked really good on Nintendo's end. They really knocked it out of the park. They kept it solid and concise. They didn't ramble. There wasn't anything... it was entertaining, and it was, cool to see all the new stuff that was coming up. And they had Robot Chicken stuff in there, for what it's worth.
One thing they mentioned in, the post-video... the 10 minutes I watched of it before I got really bored of listening to two spokespersons talk, who, were not the big names. They are localizing the Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright crossover. So
cool.
That is coming to America. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's not really my bag, but I'm
Yeah,
glad that people are paying attention.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Phoenix Wright fan. I hope the Layton stuff isn't that big, but I imagine it's probably half the game.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty much E3 for me. You have anything else, John?
I just said my other thing that I could think of.
Yeah, I know. Do you have anything in addition to that?
No.
Well, I guess, Nick?
Yeah, I can't really think of anything other than I'm really excited for MGS5 and Bloodborne and No Man's Sky.
Yeah. For me, I guess I would sum it up by saying CG trailer, and everything is coming out in 2015 apparently.
Yay!
Yeah. I'd complain about the CG trailer for Bloodborne if I didn't actually see the gameplay, which I did. So.
Yeah. So that was E3. I guess that's pretty much it for this episode of the Starmine podcast, huh?
I would
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it doesn't sound too bad or puzzle piece together, since my internet kept cutting out.
That was a few times.
Yep. Sorry, everyone, if it does. I'm going to do my best to make sure it flows pretty well and doesn't sound too awkward. But yeah. Thanks for listening, I guess. I'm David.
Nick.
John?
I guess we don't usually do a sign-off like that, but whatever.
No.
I guess that's not a thing now. Whatever.
Well,
Bye, everybody.
But
Did you want to say something, John?
I was going to mention that we have, Twitter.
Oh, yeah, we have Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
We have an email account, starminepodcast@gmail.com. There we go, John, keeping up with the...
Keep the branding
the important
alive.
Stuff. The branding alive. We have a Twitter that Nick takes the reins of. We have a Gmail account that no one ever emails.
Please email us. We're lonely.
We are lonely.
Links in the description.
Is it in the description?
It will be.
David,
No,
don't put it in there. Make him a
I'm
liar.
going to now. I just realized I actually had not checked it this week because I'm going to check it right now, live, here on the podcast, just because why not? But it's probably not going to have anything. Yep, nothing. So
Okay.
get on that. The 10 people who won't listen to this.
I will.
Email us.
Seriously.
I'll maybe
something.
make another topic about it on my GameFAQs private board.
That's what she said.
That is the name of the board.
Yep.
I inherited it. It's
I know. I
didn't.
know how it works.
I didn't pick that. Well, he doesn't. Nick doesn't know a damn thing
Nope.
about it,
Nope.
All right.
and he
Well-
will continue not to know a damn thing about it
Yep.
until
Hey,
next time.
yep, John. We'll try to. If I can, I'll try to join you on your quest into Star Wars in the
Yeah.
coming days. If not, good luck. And goodbye and good night, everybody.
Next time on Starmine.